So early. Oh. Joe Matip and Thiago Alcantara are leaving forever. I'm so tired. I might need to start this video again, you know. I just got like a proper itch. Hello there, everyone. Thiago and Joe Matip are leaving Liverpool Football Club. Imminently, end of the season, contract expires, no contract extension. I think anyone on their nan could have told you that this was going to happen, but we're going to briefly touch on that. But mostly we're going to talk about who should Liverpool sell this summer amidst all these departures, and also who will go. That's the question. Not just who you want to sell, but combined with who should go and what would make sense. Wow. Joel Matip, I can't believe he's actually leaving. 8 years of service, you know. And don't forget, we got Joel Matip for free. That is one of the biggest, best deals that you're ever going to see in your life. Say what you want about his injuries. He was still available quite a lot of the time. Like, I was surprised when we got, like, a full season out of Joel Matip in that quadruple chasing season. Do you know when he was, like, doing his giraffe runs and stuff like this? And I'll say this about Joel Matip. He is in the conversation of our all-time great centre-backs. You think of Virgil, you think of Sami Hyypiä, you think of Daniel Agger. You're putting Joel Matip in that conversation. And then Thiago's just unfortunate, isn't it? You know, Thiago was just a dude who was unbelievable at football, the best midfielder we probably would have had based on technical ability, and because of injuries, it just hasn't worked out. But I'm still going to miss Thiago Ball, man. I'm still going to miss Thiago Ball. I'm sad that I never got to see Thiago McAllister. I'm sad that I never got to see Thiago Sobo McAllister. It's just annoying. But you know what? Thiago was a cool guy. Very valuable to being a leader in the squad. And you know, I hope whatever he does next is really good. But he does need to go. And yeah, what does this mean in terms of other players, other areas that need to be addressed? Who needs to go? Who needs to come in? That's the question, isn't it? I'm going to give you a list of players who I think that we should consider selling. And this is mainly a list of the players who I think should be ready to move on. But then I'll also shortlist a few players and the idea of a few players. So first and foremost, Caoimhin Kelleher is someone who I think might need to go, depending on the right offer. Kelleher is one of the best backup goalkeepers in the world. He has probably contributed to at least, I want to say, 2 League Cups on Klopp's total trophy list. And he's amazing. And he would do well for a lot of teams. But I just see teams like Celtic being interested. I'm sure there's lower-end Premier League teams, higher-end Championship teams who are looking at Kelleher. So for me, if you can get yourself 15 to 25 million squids for a backup goalkeeper who is he's a youth academy product, it's a very, very good piece of business and a very difficult piece of business to turn down, because as much as I love Kelleher, he's only stepping up for no more than 5 to 10 games a season. Of course, bar this one because of Alisson's injuries. But then that's another question. For a goalkeeper, Alisson is quite injury prone. Does that mean Kelleher needs to keep his position at the club in case we see more injuries from Alisson? I'm not sure, but I'd rather cash in 20 to 25 million. Go and get yourself a free agent goalkeeper. Very nice. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. Keylor Navas is available. Keylor Navas also would want a lot of money, and Keylor Navas is not a player we usually sign, but this is the type of profile I'm thinking. Go and get a decent goalkeeper who's happy being backup. Maybe Pepe Reina would still want to do a job. Pepe Reina is one of those goalkeepers. He's probably going to be playing till he's about 55. Seems to be the Spanish Buffon. He's still doing well. Pepe Reina, still doing really well. So Caoimhin Kelleher is the first person who I'd let go. As I start to break down the defence, I think of the likes of Conor Bradley. I think he's okay. I think Conor Bradley, more than happy to keep him for another season at least to increase that value. Centre-backs, Joe Gomez. Nothing to do with the season that Joe Gomez has just had. And listen, I'm also very happy if Joe Gomez stays. So I don't want anyone saying in 3 months' time, if Gomez is doing well, James, you wanted Joe Gomez sold. It's like, no, I'm happy with either or. It's just, one day it's got to happen. Joe Gomez is Liverpool's longest serving player. Joe Gomez is not a starter for Liverpool. He's not our best right back. He's not our best left-back. He's not our best centre-back. Where's he going to play? He's had a great season. He's stepped in multiple positions and done a very solid job, and he's amazing. And the resurgence has been fantastic, but I think we've seen the Joe Gomez cap. I think we've seen the cap. I think we've seen the ceiling that Joe Gomez hits, and now it's just the opposite way, which is fine. That is life, and that's how life works. But Joe Gomez is just not... He's just not an elite world-class centre-back. But is he a very good player? Yes. Has he been very valuable? Yes. And if we keep him, am I going to be devastated by that? Of course not. I'm very fine, especially if he keeps putting in performances like he has this season. And I think he's arguably been our most important player defensively this year. And I will stand on that statement. I think right back, brilliant. Left back, brilliant. Centre back, brilliant. Defensive midfielder, fantastic. I've loved Joe Gomez, and if he does stay, I'll be fine with that. I'm just simply suggesting he's been here since 2015, since Brendan Rodgers. He's had multiple injuries, came back, and he's won everything at the club, and it doesn't look like he's going to be a starter. So I think for the player, for the club, for us, as the fans, we can accept the idea of Joe Gomez leaving. But we need that goal, buddy. We need that goal, buddy. We need that goal. I need you to score an absolute fucking worldie against Wolverhampton Wanderers, you fucking gorgeous former Charlton Athletic player. We need this. We need this. This is heritage. This is football heritage. Do it for me, Joe Gomez. I will have humongous orgasms if you score yourself a nice little 1 yard tap in. And by the way, we need to give Joe Gomez a penalty if we get one. We need to. I just want to see Joe Gomez put a ball in the back of the net. And yes, I do revoke the orgasm comments. Anyway, on to the next one. I'm going to get cancelled one day. On to the next player who I think we should maybe consider selling. Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones. Love Curtis Jones. I don't think this football club is good for him. I feel like the biggest mistake that we ever made on Curtis Jones is not sending him out on loan. I think if you see the progression of Harvey Elliott, a big reason why Harvey was able to progress the way he did is because he got that experience in the men's game. He was able to experience the dressing room atmosphere. And if you hear, there was a podcast on, what's his name? He's literally one of the best English all-time strikers. I am so young. Why can't I remember his name? Man United striker. He was just on the overlap. Oh my goodness. Right. My brain's deceiving me. But anyway, there was a player on the overlap whose name will come back to me. I can't believe I don't remember his name. Right, I need to move on because I'm going to lose retention of the video. This guy basically talked about the importance of loan deals and why it's important to... Because he started off at Arsenal. He went to someone else. I can't remember the trajectory of his career, but just loan deals are very, very important. No, I think he went to Arsenal. While he was at Arsenal, he went out on loan to Bristol or somewhere like that. And that was very beneficial for him. And a lot of players talk about the benefit of a loan deal. Curtis Jones never got that luxury. Please let me know. I'll already know the answer by the time the video's done. Let me know what player I was trying to think of there. His name is just completely blanked on my mind, but it feels like it's on the tip of it as well. Curtis Jones never got that loan experience as a youngster. I just feel that's why he struggles without getting consistent game time. If he doesn't get consistent game time, you see he's just so far off the mark when it comes to physicality, consistency, composure. And that's just all it is for me in Curtis Jones. I think Curtis Jones is a top technical player. But you see the flaws in his decision-making, and I think if you can get yourself a sizable fee for Curtis Jones, like I'd take 30 to 40 million for Curtis Jones. I don't know what he's necessarily done to require himself to be 30 to 40 million, but if anyone was willing to pay that, more than happy. I wouldn't be surprised to see like a team from the Serie A going for Curtis Jones. That seems to be what they're doing right now for the English players, so that could be an option. Possibly the Bundesliga, possibly another Premier League team. But I do think Curtis Jones, for his benefit as well, I just think the fans give him too much stick. I think there's this certain expectation from non-Scousers because he's a Scouser. Because people do this thing with Trent where they're like, oh, he's Scouse, so everyone just defends him, when it's not particularly true. Curtis Jones is an example of this. Curtis Jones is Scouse and nobody defends Curtis Jones. Everyone hates Curtis Jones. They give him dog shit abuse online every single week. If you look at his comments, I'm not making stuff up there. So therefore, I'd say he has to go. I think it's just better if he does. So far, we've got a nice sizable list. And I think if you're going to sell Gomez, Curtis Jones and Caoimhin Kelleher, you're getting yourself a nice, cushy, sizable transfer fee. And hopefully Michael Edwards will think, let's get deep in the bollocks and let's get ourselves some players, mate. You know what I mean? So that's definitely great. The front three, I am going to recommend what happens with Luis Diaz. Again, let me not say, I don't want this list to be like, oh, these players have to be sold definitively and they can't come back. Every player I've mentioned, from Kelleher to Gomez to Jones, I'm fine with keeping. I'm just simply saying that these are the players I will probably consider selling for the right offer. Luis Diaz is one of those players. If we was to get 50 to 60 million for Luis Diaz, I'm all over that deal. Not because I don't like Luis Diaz, not because I don't rate him. I think he's been probably one of the better attackers this season, but then again, I don't really agree with that. I think Nunes has probably had a better season. Salah's definitely had a better season. I would even make an argument players like Harvey Elliott has made a great impact off the bench and these type of things. So for even Cody Gakpo towards the end of the season, but it's still been a good season for our Colombian sensation. And I love Luis Diaz. But I've been seeing his dad talk too much and twerking too much for Barcelona. And a lot of respect to Papa Diaz. He's had such a tough year. I'm so happy we got to see his face again. And now he goes to all the games. It's amazing. But please shut your mouth when it comes to Barcelona. For fuck's sake. Stop twerking for them. So I think with that combined, just with the fact that he's not 21, 22. Luis Diaz is now a 28-year-old man. His end product isn't that great. He's not going to get much better. And we're never going to get another opportunity to receive 40 to 50 to 60 million for him again. He's not Sadio Mane. As much as we would have liked him to have been that, he is not Sadio Mane. He is a Jurgen Klopp signing, who was a pretty questionable signing, but a good player. But now we need more than good, don't we? Like Curtis Jones, he's good. Gomez, good. Kelleher, good. Let's start getting some top-class fucking boss ballers, you know what I mean? So Luis Diaz is a potential name to go. And just a few names to replace those four players who I've just mentioned there. I think for goalkeeper, a great one would be James Trafford from Burnley. I don't see that happening. I think Burnley will keep him and maybe play him in the Championship. But James Trafford, former goalkeeper for Manchester City, struggled towards the end of this season, but has bags of potential as a goalkeeper. Homegrown as well, so that could be an option. So James Trafford to replace Caoimhin Kelleher is something that I'd be open to the idea of. I don't know if I mentioned he's from the City Academy as well. That'll be a big factor. Gomez, Inacio. Is it Inacio? I think it's Inacio. Inacio is a really good centre-back. I'd most certainly consider him being a replacement for Joe Gomez and also possibly tipping Konate to the main centre-back spot. Curtis Jones, I remember a certain name by the name of Thuram that we were all very intrigued by last season. Good ball retention with the likes of Gravenberch and stuff now. We definitely don't need Thuram as much. But to replace Curtis Jones, you've got to go out and most certainly look at the options and find someone who's actually got that potential. That's what we need, that solid player in the middle of the park who's got that potential. I even raised the question, Curtis Jones and Fabio Carvalho are two very different players, but could Curtis Jones leaving invite an opportunity to Fabio Carvalho? That is also something I'm very intrigued by. Carvalho has smashed it on his loan move to Hull City, so that could be really good. And then Luis Diaz replacement. I know you're going to laugh at it, but Anthony Gordon. Anthony Gordon, I was speaking to my mate Sam. Shout out to Sam. I was speaking to Sam about this. Me and him like the idea of Anthony Gordon because Scouser, I know him personally from when I was younger, but that's not why I'm saying it. I'm saying it because I think he would suit the club. I think he suits the style of play. I think he is a relentless motherfucker, so I think he's constantly going to be looking to get goals and assists. I think his mindset is not an issue. His footballing ability is not an issue. I think he's proven since going to Newcastle he's a top winger. And his ceiling is so far higher than Luis Diaz's, it is untrue. And he's a lot more direct than Luis Diaz. Yes, he's a former Everton player, but he was a Liverpool fan growing up. So it's not a ridiculous statement to say, if we can get Anthony Gordon, you go get him. I think that would be a good move. I really do. I think that would be a good move for him, for us, for everyone. So Anthony Gordon, I'd definitely consider. And then the rest of it is just what happens with Salah, what happens with Núñez. What happens with them is they stay. They will stay. They will be a part of the project. They'll be a part of the plans. They're too important to the ethos of the football club. Núñez for the fact he's a big investment. Salah because he's Salah. Therefore, they're not going to go. Same with the midfielders. I don't think there's anybody that we urgently need to let go of in the midfield. I think Thiago and Matip leaving, plus the 4 players I just mentioned. Also, if you want to sprinkle in a couple of young players like Nat Phillips or Reece Williams and these type of guys, fair enough. But I think the 4 names I listed are the main names who I would much consider selling when it comes to the summer. And I want to know if you agree or disagree or everything in between. So yeah, life and football is interesting. And Joe Matip, I'm going to miss you. You're fucking gorgeous. German Cameroonian. Beautiful, man. And I'm just so sorry. I'm so sorry you won't be considered the greatest that you are. The greatest that ever was. The greatest that ever will be. And the greatest that is. Shout out to Brett the Hitman Hart. My heart is breaking more and more. No more Thiago Ball, Matip's leaving, the king of Cameroon. And Jurgen Klopp's fucking off. This is great. I am not having a mental breakdown. It's amazing. I need to cough now. Guys, I hope you'll have a belter. I am knackered. That was my soul leaving my face. Guys, much love, fam. Love and peace. Love and peace like Bob Marley, fam. By the way, do you want to see it?